Welcome to How to Lead the Daily Stand-Up. Think of the worst meeting you've ever been in. Likely it felt boring, unproductive, and a waste of your time. Maybe all you wanted to do was to get out of there so you could actually get some real work done. Well, that's exactly the type of meeting that the Daily Scrum is designed to fix, and Quinn knew it. So what we'll do in this sprint is talk about practical ways you can facilitate a successful daily stand-up, aka the Daily Scrum. As a bonus, you'll see some common anti-patterns and ways to address those. Interview tip. This is a common Scrum Master interview question. So Quinn got the idea of trying out the daily stand-up format in her regular project status meeting. Why? Because she knew the stand-up provides an antidote to bad meetings. And she knew that it can improve communication, quick decision-making, team happiness, and ability to deliver. And luckily, it's pretty simple to facilitate. You just ask each team member to share their progress against the goal of the sprint. Well, Quinn knew her job as Scrum Master was to ask the team to do this by each person answering 3 questions. 1, what I did yesterday to progress the goal of our sprint was X. 2, what I'm doing today is Y. 3, blockers. Or sometimes you can put blockers first. The only problem was the team complained to Quinn that they had too many meetings already. So Quinn told them, I hear you guys, and I'm just learning, but what if I try leading the daily Scrum in a way that actually feels valuable to you, respectful of your time and priorities? So Quinn's group decided to try the daily stand-up for a week. And over the first few days, Quinn felt like she was getting a hang of facilitating the stand-up. She felt so energized by it that she committed to becoming an even more skilled facilitator. But it wasn't all roses. When people started talking out of turn or talking too much or off topic, Quinn started to wonder, am I up to the job? Sometimes she felt out of control as the conversation spiraled into just one more meeting in a day of too many meetings. On top of that, Greg and Mark on our team tended to debate topics down to the nitty-gritty details out loud on topics the other team members really didn't even care about. By Thursday, Quinn was wondering, can I really do this? So good news. On Friday, the team told Quinn, we weren't so sure at first, but we liked the way we can solve problems in the moment versus a bunch of email chains. But we don't like how sometimes we get too deep into discussions that are really too detailed for everybody there. Not everybody is interested in every topic. Okay, said Quinn, I get it. Thanks for telling me. Let me think about that one and come up with a better way. So Quinn reached out to me to find out how she could lead the daily Scrum in a way that was focused and respectful of people's time, yet still allowed people to discuss if they needed to. So I told her a true story from my own experience starting out as a Scrum Master, in which I discovered a magic little tool called the parking lot. That's going to be one of your best friends in the daily Scrum, because if any one team member starts to get into a little more detail on a topic than they should in the first half of the meeting, you just write that topic in the parking lot, ideally share your screen so they can see it's there, and tell them, I've added it to our parking lot for the meet after, which is the second 15 minutes of your daily stand-up. But then Quinn asked me, what the heck is a meet after anyway? I laughed and said, okay, so it's the second 15 minutes of your stand-up after the first 15 minutes, which are the highly focused yesterday, today blockers. So in the meet after, you as a Scrum Master, you just go through your parking lot topics, starting with the one that most people care about. And then people can drop once you've covered their topics so they can get back to work, because that's really what people want to do. Quinn said, I got it. In fact, it's a way of using the core agile value of respect. In this case, respecting people's time. Exactly. So starting Monday of the following week, Quinn implemented the parking lot technique, and it worked great. But since her group was really new to the daily stand-up, she also started doing the occasional team building exercise only compressed into only 3 minutes. It is possible. One of her favorite ones was where she asked each team member to type into the chat box, what's one thing you want to thank somebody for on the team? So people really liked this because it was super fast, and it also gave everybody a voice, even the quiet folks. The team really liked it and actually started thanking each other out loud as a matter of habit going forward. Success, because industry data shows that teams that have the skill of gratitude are actually high-performing teams usually. So Quinn got such positive feedback from the team on the daily Scrum that she told me, Kelly, there's no turning back now. This is a whole new way of working for me and I want more. But the next challenge Quinn ran into was that people were still taking up too much airtime instead of doing a quick touch point. Because of that, she proposed to the team that they try to actually physically stand up for 5 days in a row on camera, and then do a retrospective on whether they felt it helped them or not. What do you think happened? At the end of a week of standing up, Quinn asked them, okay, team, how was that for you, standing up instead of sitting down in the daily Scrum? They laughed and said, well, it made us a whole lot more concise and disciplined. And we discovered we can just sit down later for the longer conversations when we need to outside of the daily stand-up. So let's keep standing up. After that, Quinn and her team said goodbye forever to those deadly boring, time-wasting meetings. Their daily stand-up got more efficient and collaborative by the day. Quinn learned to facilitate this, and so can you, Scrum Masters. So what we did in this sprint was to cover practical ways you can facilitate a successful daily stand-up, aka daily Scrum. As a bonus, you saw some common anti-patterns and ways to address those. In the next sprint, you'll get a practical and easier than you think way to lead the sprint demo, aka sprint review. Great job, everyone.